Why is the music so dramatic? Well, this is combat music, actually. Well, either way. Hi, everyone. Nice seeing you. Sorry, I'm also doing one thing here. There we go. Nice seeing you all here today. How was your weekends? How was your Saturdays and your Sundays? Did you do anything? For those of you who are American, did you enjoy your 4th of Freedom Day? Or was it a very middling Freedom Day? And for those of us who don't celebrate Freedom Day, how was your Saturday? Past that, my days were it was a day. I don't know, I just kind of slept for most of it. That's good that it was a regular Saturday. I know that apparently it was storming in some places, which is a time for sure. Oh, fuck, I forgot to mute. Shit. But for me at least, it was a fine Saturday, Sunday. Did a little bit of drawing. Did a little bit more drawing. What else did I do? That's a great question. I don't remember. Well, I played a little bit of Everything is Crab, but past that, I ate ice cream on Saturday. Probably saw it on Twitter. That was a time. Man, I really don't have anything to really fucking talk about, I'll be honest. This is kind of like the one of my main issues with just chatting is like I really am just not a surprisingly big on the dogging, but I'm trying to get myself to be good about it. I probably also sound a little bit sniffly, but it's because I think I'm coming down with something, but it's simultaneously there but fought off. So I'm not. I don't know. It's there, but it's not. But hello, Emrian. Hello, Lanternheart, and hello, Bottle of Teal. I hope you're all having a lovely Monday, the 6th of July today. Oh shit, I have to remember to do something else later today too. But today's session is... I actually lied to you. It's not at all a session of yapping or yopping or yipping or yupping or yapping. Or yipping. It's hemming and hawing. Because hemming and hawing is based. That was really stupid. But I do have one thing to actually like somewhat talk about. So Tentagrail obviously, as a lot of everyone probably knows, I'm playing the shit out of that. But I'm currently playing a challenge mode thing, and I'm probably gonna be kind of speed running the last 2 NG plus stuff because, you know, past like Connacht, which requires me to like specifically go to 2 main quest locations. Yeah, going into the 3rd act, I was literally just run on to the main capital, grab the helmet, and fucking dip. And then choosing the option that has the least amount of combat in it. And what I'm probably going to end up doing is once I complete NG plus 2 and immediately go into 3, I think it's tomorrow. There's at least one thing I'm going to be trying to do is I'm going to be slightly changing what I'm going to be playing. For those of you who are in the know, Palworld comes with 1.0 on the 10th. I'm still like 50-50 on whether or not I actually stream me playing through it or I just stick with friends and just play it that way and just play it off stream and don't really worry about streaming it. But at the very least, I am going to be trying to stream, or at least consider it, Cyberpunk 2077. I only have the base game, so it won't be the DLC, but it will be slightly modded, just so I look the way I want to look. Past that, it will be Cyberpunk. So we'll have to see how that goes. Uh, I don't. Well, it'd probably be like a few streams where I test a few things first and foremost. Mostly to see that if Cyberpunk works with the model and doesn't have to conflict with OBS and everything else as well. And I'll be honest, I really hate to tell you, Cyberpunk being the open world giant map thing, I don't know if I actually end up doing the main story stuff. I will probably end up running around the entire map, just fighting and doing like the side quests and everything and collecting shit, and then I'll probably get bored. So we'll have to see how that goes. But past that, there's also maybe a possible test streams with me trying to test Skyrim. The reason why I'm going to be testing Skyrim is yeah, I know what I'm about to say is going to kind of sound a little insane, but in Skyrim at least, if you were here, give or take last year, you knew that I did a Halloween-y type of Skyrim playthrough where, you know, it's meant to be, I think the mod's called Shattered Skyrim or something like that. Like basically Alduin 1. And you're like the Dragonborn. But I'm going to be adding a one specific mod in, and I'm going to be kind of like trying to reduce the amount of mods I am using. So really I have only like really just mods that I will be using, and not, oh, here's like 600 armor mods, the game crashes when you go to smith them. But the most important thing is that there is one mod that'll be being added to, and it is, I saw it originally on another YouTube channel, Joov, was playing a thing, or with a mod, where you specifically gain stats on kills. Now, if you've ever seen, or if you have played Shattered Skyrim and or my playthrough, you'll know that getting kills is, well, it's easy, but also early game it was kind of rough. But also I kind of overprepared and everything. But because of this, getting stats and kills means I can't grind gear, I can't grind levels, I can't just spam out really easy things. I actually have to go and kill things. And since the world is basically constantly hunting me down, it's actually going to be quite difficult to do that. So I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I'm mostly doing a test stream to make sure, again, works with the model, works with OBS, is stable enough, and doesn't crash a ton. So that at least, you know, it whenever I go to actually do it this Halloween, it's like all good. I don't have to like worry about faffing about with it at the time. But yeah, I know Skyrim stable, but at the very least, I would want this so that if it does crash, it's like 90%. It's 90%. Or, no, 10% of the time instead of the 90%. let's try and get that right there. I want it to be effectively 10% crash time, 90% game time. And I'll probably end up trying to hash out like the kind of like rules of the run and everything. Partly because I know that there's a very high chance I'll probably end up like forgetting the rules when I go through them. Plus, also, I kind of like want it to be where like Shattered Skyrim, or at least it's a Halloween-y, scary Skyrim game, or at least Oblivion, alternatively. But Oblivion hasn't reached that point of like modding capability where 28 Days Later isn't like a constant mod thing anymore. In the old Oblivion, yeah, it is, but not a new one. Yeah, I know. Skyrim is, it's either Skyrim or stable, but look, I can try to get both, okay? Though, as much as we joke, Skyrim is surprisingly very good at being like stable now. It's just a lot of time when people are doing mods and everything, they're, you know, very new to modding. But apparently, if you actually do mod stuff and you actually do like understand how that stuff works, you can actually make Skyrim relatively stable, at least on the crashing aspect. It's just Skyrim itself still has like certain issues on your hardware and the like that causes it to just randomly crash. But that's kind of just a fact of Skyrim, or not Skyrim, Bethesda. But yeah, past that, it'll probably be a test stream or a few test streams with Skyrim and testing the mod pack and everything. But it will be also just doing a playthrough of Cyberpunk. I don't have a Cyberpunk model or a sci-fi 3D model. I have a little doodle, a PNG of it. But yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with me being a knight. It will be slightly modded Cyberpunk, the way it will be direct, but it's again purely just for the gear and for some weapons, because to my knowledge it's Japanese, very Japanese, and also guns. Like the two aesthetics that I understand from Cyberpunk 2077 is just Japanese and Eastern, well, specifically Japanese, not really Eastern, and guns. Like that's all I've seen out of it, especially since, like, I will admit, I have like maybe 30-40 hours in the game at the least, so I actually do know what it looks like. Yeah, it's a Cyberpunk aesthetic. Like, I don't know, it's because to me sci-fi, because I did say like I don't have a sci-fi thing, so to me it's like sci-fi, which is like it covers almost everything, most stuff like that. Obviously I could say like, oh, it's Cyberpunk or whatever, but like, I don't know, it's very Japanese coded with all, like, effectively everything, and also very just guns. No, Akora, it's based on Cyberpunk and not Shadowrun. Like, the original system is based on Shadowrun, which I think was possibly before. Actually, I'm very curious. Was it before or after? Because I played the original Cyberpunk TTRPG. But I didn't play the TTRPG for Shadowrun only because it was way too math heavy. 1989. Uh, 1988. So about a year's difference. Unless like Shadowrun wasn't a TTRPG beforehand. That I don't know. But Shadowrun was 1989, and Cyberpunk was 1988. Fucking 1800s playing fucking Cyberpunk. What the fuck? Yeah, I've been in like a lot of like TTRPGs. Cyberpunk is a little bit more common, whereas many of those who play Shadowrun don't like play Shadowrun, if that makes sense. Like, they always make characters and talk about situations, but they don't actually play the TTRPG. They play like the CRPG. I forget what the name tag is, but it's literally just Shadowrun. But yeah, no, like, I'm not surprised no one plays it because it's really fucking hard and it maths everything. Not a bad thing, but like, good lord, a lot of numbers. And sometimes you don't even need the numbers because it's like, oh, we're gonna simulate the explosion radius of a grenade. It's like, why? And I would add Detroit aesthetic to that, but I hate to tell you, I consider that to be the guns aesthetic. For a good fucking reason. But yes, at the very least, at a very much a surface level look at it, even though I know it's like Cyberpunk as a genre and like an aesthetic look, to me it's just Japanese and guns. Guns aesthetic is literally anything American. that's it. There are other cultures that have like a lot of gun influence, like Germans and Japanese actually do have like quite a lot of like fascination with firearms and everything. But I don't know. When I think of guns, I think of like two things. Most of America. And then because of that association with America, I think of like all the places that have guns and how they are dusty, very rundown places. Now, no exact defense, there are probably many lovely places in America, but I also imagine those places don't have guns, or at least have as proficient amount of guns. I hate to be kind of stereotypical, but like, look, I know I have a lot of American friends, and they really, really fucking don't fall far from the stereotypical tree. I think some of you here are actually, you do fall from the stereotypical tree, which is actually nice, because it means I'm not like, oh my god, they're all the same. I've met one, I've met them all. No, well, Wild West, yes, but whenever I think about guns, it also includes destruction. And I don't know, I've seen a lot of places where like, oh, it's very like, it's not stereotypical. No, it's not stereotypical. I don't know what it is. No, Teeling, you're not American. Look, you can like that stuff, but like you said the Detroit aesthetic, and in my head, that's America. Like, unless I'm about to fucking accidentally fucking throw so much shade at Ireland. Unless you fucking live in the north in a very specific area in the middle of the north, which I do live near, you'll know what I'm fucking talking about whenever it's like, yeah, that's like fucking Ireland, or not Ireland, American Ireland. Oh, you're gonna post a copy pasta in the Discord about guns? Did I? Was my Discord still open? Yes, good. I mean, fuck it, do it. I'm like, honestly, that's what the Discord's for. It's like anything that is potentially relevant to whatever the hell I'm talking about, I fucking post it. And if anything that isn't relevant, I fucking post that anyway. I'd rather it just be like a group of people that are hanging out and coexisting and are... How many guns should a normal person have? About 5. That sounds like a gun enthusiast to me. No, a gun enthusiast has 15. It sounds like someone obsessed with guns. No, people obsessed with guns have hundreds. That sounds like a psycho. No, psychos seldom own guns or just get 1 or 2. That sounds like a normal person though. Normal person? No, a normal person has about 5. I already covered that. Yeah, like, I'm sorry. I know that some of you here are actually like American and everything. You do come to a place from different parts of the, I almost said American world, American continent. And I understand that some of you do have guns and don't. That doesn't make you a part of the example. That just makes you an exception. Because for those of you who are here, I would count you mostly as an exception to the rule. And I'll tell you fucking why. I have about 10 other American friends on my friends list on Discord right this moment. On average, I think about 7 of them own guns, own multiple guns. I don't know the exact number. And the ones that don't own multiple guns have big guns because they could afford them. So, for all intents and purposes, yeah, mind you, also the other part of my friends list is like mostly European too. Big, genuinely, like from the few pictures I've seen, actual big rifles, like larger caliber rifles to be specific. And I think a shotgun. Yeah, I'm talking about caliber whenever I say big, like big bullets, you know, fucking things about this fucking wide. Well, maybe not this fucking big, because my hands are a lot closer than what that actually looks like. But, you know, basically, if you were to... Big guns are ones that... See, that's the issue. People say 308 isn't big. But 308 is genuinely pretty fucking big when you consider the amount of fucking powder that it has. Would you be a stereotypical gun person, Cora? I'd have to disagree. No, you wouldn't be. You would be more like something with like with me. You kind of like have, you know, a pistol, I think, and another thing. I think of both pistols. But you aren't like constantly talking about the guns. Like it's, oh yeah, I own one. It's like, oh cool, and you just move on. Like that's genuinely how it goes. And whenever I say like me, I mean like it's something that you kind of have. You don't really super use it very often. No, I don't have a firearm. That's illegal here. Or, well, you have to get a license, and I'm not licensed. But it's more like, oh, you know, I'm a knight, so I kind of may or may not own like a few swords. Don't question me. Yeah, no, like you're trained, but it's not like your personality. Like it's just something that you just have as a background knowledge thing. It's like, yeah, it's just a thing. Like well, I do wish I could do way more in regards to like historical European martial arts, HEMA, because where I am, while it is common, there's very few clubs, so I can't really super train in it or even like attempt to even make it a hobby. So I mostly end up spending most of my time just kind of like super surface level. Kind of sucks, but hey, I'll live with it. Maybe as time goes on, maybe it'll catch on. But yeah, like for me, I would consider like, this is gonna be really stupid, but like if you need to have like a dedicated frame, if you have like a dedicated frame to fire a pistol caliber that isn't bigger than effectively like maybe a 9mm, well, a Desert Eagle is kind of like a lot bigger because it's like 50 something. That's maybe a little bit more different. But actually that would prove the point, because to me, a 9mm is effectively like I think like a general usage bullet. But if you end up being like, oh, well, I have a Desert Eagle and that's bigger, does that make me a gun enthusiast? Yes, because you have like genuinely like the de facto gun enthusiast fucking like iconic pistol. And like when you start getting into like bigger and the more gunny guns, for lack of a term, like rifles and the like, you end up running into that case of like, yeah, you become more of an actual enthusiast versus like see, I mean, the fact that you say it comes in 9mm, well, I'm not calling you like stereotypical. That is the kind of information that someone who really knows their guns would know. Like, even though like I could have looked that up and everything, I have like aggressively surface knowledge. Not even like maybe not surface knowledge, maybe like in the fucking atmospheric knowledge. Like I'm really like don't know anything about guns realistically. So the fact that someone says that just tells me, oh, that's a lot of stuff. Like that's a lot of extra information that I'm surprised exists, because I wouldn't expect it to come in 9mm. But I'd still consider most of you, yeah, like I don't know what it is, Emrian. A lot of people I know just come from those types of families. Like it's almost as if it's a cultural phenomenon there. Kind of proving the point. But to my knowledge, Emrian, you're also not a gun enthusiast, so I wouldn't really consider you a part of it. You just have the knowledge, really. But it's still like fucking funny. I am not surprised, because it's also very much a cultural thing in Germany and I think Norway. No, it's one of the other Nordic countries. I don't remember which one specifically it is, but I know there's Germany and one other one that have a lot of information about that. But I would also obviously say Japan as well. But they have a fascination with specifics. Yeah, no, that's kind of like a big thing, is why I still consider it like a cultural thing. Culture doesn't always mean it's a good thing. It just means it's something that is so common within your like area that it's something you need to know. Like in Ireland, I'm gonna avoid giving off specifics. Yes, I'm Irish. Maybe I talked about this a few times. Not a lot of people know about, like, how do I put this? We know more so about reputations of certain areas rather than items that have the reputation. Because if you live in those areas, high chance you're already like a part of like the existing dangerous group. It's why if you ever like talk to an Irish person, you ask like, what's the most dangerous place in the country? There's a range of answers because every place has their own like specific place where if you come from there, very fucking high chance you're dangerous. But that's because you have like maybe a group of prolific people who made it dangerous. Doesn't mean everyone there is dangerous. It just means that, because of them, it becomes dangerous. Yeah, no, I haven't been to a gun range before. I haven't. I should make that clear. I have not. I've seen lots of fucking photos though, and no, I know it says photos will never like capture the feeling of being there. I don't know. Being able to walk in and 90% of the wall is just different types of guns, it kind of tells me more than enough. Like, you would think they'd put like a mirror or something else there, but apparently not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people end up overthinking of how much danger there actually is with the firearms and everything. A lot of the danger ends up just being, I think, accidental discharges and or idiots. Actual intentional violence, it's really only really hyper located in like a few to It's a message that makes no fucking sense when you really look down at the numbers. Because we've heard the argument before of like, oh, you need to control guns or remove guns ownership, and stuff like that. I'm not surprised it's drug related actually, or that. I'm not even really surprised. Because again, both of those things are kind of like already illegal, or at least already have those inclinations towards being illegal. So it's like, I'm not surprised. It's kind of like being able to actually see the trees for the forest, or the forest for the tree. But what's that saying? Whatever. Basically, you can see the trees and the forest. Like, you see the problem, and you also recognize why the problem. It's really funny. Like, I won't consider myself like super knowledgeable on all this stuff, but it is a thing that because actually, yes, that was actually the point I was going to make. Even in cities where the collection or acquiring of firearms is extremely hard and are restricted, they tend to have still like a lot of like firearm related incidents that are kind of like unnaturally high, and that's because, for all intents and purposes, those who are going to break the law can just go to a different fucking state that has way looser requirements of firearms, or they just steal them, and well, there you go, they don't have a gun. Problem solved. Whereas here, I think our firearms situations and stuff are relatively low, but we have a very, very high amount of stabbings. Or, well, beatings as well. Like, if you want to break the law, it's very easy to break the law. Yeah, no, quite literally, like, bringing all these laws and everything is really stupid. You live in the murder capital of the United States. You live in England? That's a joke. I'm pretty sure I know what the murder capital is, but I'm not gonna fucking say it on stream. And I'm pretty sure most people who know probably can already figure it out. But also, I'm pretty sure that state is fucking huge anyway. As long as you're not giving out your exact street name, I think we're fine. That's why, like, I'm okay saying, like, I'm in Ireland, and specifically the north part, because, again, as long as I don't give it specifics, it's very hard to find me. Like, I'm not too worried. Now, if I had my face out, fuck yeah, I'd be fucking terrified of giving out where the fuck I live. But the end point being is that, yeah, a lot of the numbers end up being like, what's the joke? Spiders, Greg? Where there's one guy who eats a ton of spiders and kind of throws off the entire, like, mathematics formula. So whenever they apply to, like, oh yeah, it's across the entire like the US, it's like, no, it's like in like 4 places at most. Well, I do like to say I consider myself kind of right. You associate with red coats? How dare you? How dare you say that within my chat? If I knew how to immediately ban you, I would. I'm kidding. I very rarely like making threats about banning or kicking people. Unless it's absolutely necessary. I just don't want to ever like make a joke about banning or kicking and then it being like, oh, it's just a joke, whenever like I mean it. But yeah, no, I'm not surprised that my joke isn't wrong. It's kind of the issue. Are you talking about the UK friend? Because, like, go ahead, spill the tea. You forget, I'm not a friend of the English. Yes, I may drink tea, but also that's just like a waste of tea. But, like, also I'm not a friend of English. Like, I'm... the messaging, I understand. Okay, just because tea's nice. But it's also like saying, like, Mod spills hamburgers in the harbor. It's like... I mean, I kind of like hamburgers, but also it's like not that big a deal. Why isn't that a thing? Why isn't spilling the hamburgers in the harbor just a funny thing? And Puerto? I'm guessing it's meant to be like Puerto Rico. Yeah, I was about to say, which is not very. We're only red coats because we're made to wear the red goddamn coats. It's not like we want to, but that's not the point. But yeah, like I fully understand, like that's why I said the association with America and everything to me is guns, because it's the most fucking talked about thing when it comes to most Americans I know. But then you get to Ireland and then it's like, oh yeah, most of them are drunkards, because I'll be honest, a lot of them fucking drink. Like, I genuinely don't know anything else about fucking Ireland except for they drink and I live there. But also bombs, but that's not the point. We don't talk about that second one too much, especially on stream. There's a bit of a risk with that. I think there's a risk with everything we're talking about, but as long as no one reports me, it should be fine. I think. Unless the AI is like, he said something bad. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. What about MMA? I'm not doing mixed martial arts yet. Well, no, I probably won't be. I'm too unfit and I want to save my fucking wrist for drawing. Yeah, I don't know why a lot of Europeans do like to do that. Because, you know, it's still an atrocity. Like, for all intents and purposes, if that one didn't happen, and or if there was some way to prevent it, another one would have still happened, because the there's always like an actual core issue with a lot of those things, and it's never just like a simple haha. Really, Ireland's MMA and rugby. I guess I could see the rugby part, though I tend to always associate it with Scotland. But MMA? Oh, it's because of that prick, isn't it? I swear, if you fucking name drop the one guy I'm thinking about right now in regards to MMA, please wipe him from your memory. He is not representative about Ireland at all. Yeah. Well, no, that's Cora. It's not Teeling who said that. Yeah, exactly, Emrian. Evil is evil. It will be carried out even against the mechanism, or what? It will be carried out regardless of whatever mechanisms it has. It will be done regardless of whatever laws we have. The best thing you can do is to ensure that you fundamentally nip it in the bud at a very, very like beginning life thing. Because it really, being able to do evil comes from the lack of morals and understanding what morals are actually acceptable or not. Yeah, fucking. Like, right, okay. If anyone's watching this and you think that Ireland is like, if you think Conor McGregor, the MMA fuckface, sorry, professional is representative of Ireland, please don't ever associate that with him ever again. That man is the least Irish man ever. He is a thug. He is a thug first and foremost. He has no respect, no understanding of what the average Irish person actually is like. He will use violence first before anything else. And you know what? If he does say fight me on Twitter, that will prove the fucking point. He has this entire need to constantly prove himself to be better than everyone else, when the reality is he's already a piece of shit. Understand? No, the fame did not get to his head. He was always a piece of shit from the very beginning. He was always like that. The fame just made him have a louder mouth and a louder messaging where he can talk about it way more. The fact that he attempted to even run for president in Ireland is fucking stupid. Even if it is a figurehead position and it's purely just a represent, like you're just like there, like you're not actually like doing anything in regards to like laws or anything. The fact that he's attempted to even do that, even though he's not even a representative of Ireland at all, is a fucking disgrace to the Irish community as a whole. And I understand there's a lot of like younger people who are like, oh, pro Conor McGregor. Let me tell you, they're the same ones that are poisoned by him because they are thugs themselves. Just because he's a bastard and everything doesn't mean he's acceptable. I will fundamentally deny him in every way, shape, and form. Yeah, normally it gets tempered by social circumstance, but a lot of times now social circumstance kind of does fucking jack and shit due to the internet. It only really did stuff way back whenever it was your local community, and then at least you could blame your community. But now with the whole like unrestricted access to the internet, well, it can make a lot of things worse. Not that I'm saying like, oh, the internet is controlled. I'm fundamentally against that. But we also have to understand that it's not the internet's causing the problem. It's the backgrounds of the people on the internet, which means it's a social issue, not a mechanical or technical or digital one. It is the social stuff again. The internet just makes it spiral. Sorry, if it's not obvious, I get annoyed about this. No, that's fair. I'm not going to talk about all the stuff that he actually has done in regards to whether or not they're crimes and the like, because it really is just very easy to find that information. But I just don't want to specifically talk about that because a lot of that is very like dark topics that I am personally not comfortable talking about. But I mean, that's fair in assuming that MMA is probably like Irish but I would sooner put that like anywhere else, because Ireland, I feel like, sure, we do have a history of, we'll say fighting. It's not really like a thing that's super like day to day here. Sure, there are like violence, but that's fucking everywhere. But there's no like place that is specifically like, yeah, we love violence, to my knowledge at least. I don't think anywhere genuinely will embody the idea of violence. And if there is, what the fuck? But yeah, no, I would always consider like rugby to be more Scottish coded. I don't know, it's just always been like that to me as an Irish guy. I think like if I were to have to associate any sport, it would be Gaelic specifically. Oh God, what's the other one? Hockey stick? No, not hockey. You've got the slitter. You've got a big stick with a round thing. You've got a fucking hardcore ball. It's not croquet. Similar-ish rules. It's where the chalets were originally adapted to. God, what do you call it? Hang on, I'm gonna have to look up the name because I genuinely cannot remember it right now. But there's a specific sport here that is like 100% like that. That is definitely Irish. I mean, we have a ton of sports, obviously, but I'm talking like specifically like an Irish actual sport, not like hurling. Hurling is the one I'm thinking of. Also, camogie. I don't know how to pronounce that one. I never really had someone I never had someone. What? I never had anyone ever correct me or say how to say it, so I always say it's camogie. Yeah, traditional wrestling as well. I forget the specific name as well. But I think that's very disfavored now due to just it kind of being like associated with violence. Even though hurling is like, yes, let us wield sticks and hit a ball really fucking hard towards our teammates in the general proximity of our enemy team and possibly smack them on the fucking head. Chalet is a beating stick, but also it was a adapted into a sport for hurling and the like. It did end up becoming more hurling stick and more like adapted, but like chalet is what it was originally called. But obviously it just adapted as time went. Because it is normally known as like an actual chalet. And let me tell you, it's fucking lethal if you get smacked by it. Like, Jesus Christ. Because I remember there used to be, pardon me, a fella in my younger years who played a lot of hurling. And let's just say that some of the injuries he sustained from hurling because of idiot teammates or angry teammates, you would think that he was attacked with a blade. So, you know, be aware. Admittedly, I think it's also made from like ash, or whatever, which is a fucking hard ass wood. So, ends up being pretty damn lethal whenever you really like look at it. Then again, it is just a stick, and a stick is always a weapon. So, officer, it's just a walking stick. Please don't take it away from me. Smack, smack, smack. But yeah, Chile originally started out as like an actual just stick. But it kind of did get refined to be hurling because, well, I think it was like some Irish, I think it was Hull specifically made it a thing where if you hit a rock with the stick, you can get some lethal fucking power out of it if you're really good at aiming it. And that's kind of where hurling kind of like supposedly evolved from. But that's neither here nor there. I don't really know. It's not something that I would be super aware of in the grand scheme of it. What I do know, though, is it's not a sport I play. I maybe, as everyone would fucking tell me, oh, you're fucking perfect for it. You're nice and tall, sturdy build, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, but I have no interest in playing it because I don't like getting fucking hurt. There's a reason why I wear armor, after all. And I'm thankful I didn't play it because I still have most of my joints in good condition to an extent. I say that and the right hand is still being a little bunky. But either way, it's not the point here. Sorry, I'm currently like trying to pop the elbow. But yeah, past that, going back a little bit in the topics, it'll be Cyberpunk 2077, a testing run of Skyrim where I combine those mods and everything, see if they actually work cohesively. And then figuring out the rules during the Skyrim run. And I'm going to try and avoid doing Tainted Grail for a little bit. Like, I want to just play it on my own time and not be like, yes, stream only. Because the challenge mode is already interesting and everything, but I kind of want to spend a little bit more time like just playing the damn game. Like, I really do enjoy it, but I don't want to keep streaming it. Because I have one friend who, if they're listening right now, know what the fuck I'm talking about. Has been kind of low-key begging me to just not be playing Tainted Grail. Which I don't blame them for. I really don't. The Scarlet mod pack. I want to make the joke that it already exists like that, but it's kind of bad because then it ends up placing Ireland as the bad guys, and I don't like that. So maybe I shouldn't. I'll say the one thing I would want to try and do for the Skyrim at least, maybe Cyberpunk, I don't think I'll be able to do it in Cyberpunk, is get me ported into them properly. The Shagass, me. Like, that'd be interesting in order to actually like, play Skyrim as my armor set. Because then it would become like another like level of challenge where it's like, okay, well, one, I would have to put in clothes that are just armor, but have it be heavy armor because I like heavy armor, but with no defense points. No, you're not. It's not you, Cora. As much as you would love to joke about that, you would encourage me to keep playing Tainted Grail. Or did you just make that joke just so you could say Taint Cup? Answer carefully. Yeah, no, but at a point, I have been playing the absolute shit out of Tainted Grail on stream, which again, not a bad thing, but like, I need something new. It's something that I admit, yes, is true, but also, I feel like there's a limit that I'm reaching with it, which is a problem. Because I don't do anything really different except for goofy challenges. Oop, just punched the microphone. About the Goober World? Like Monster Hunter World? What? Oh, you have the laundry to do today? Oh, RimWorld. Look, RimWorld is something that I only play very rarely. I've only played it like 2 times. And they're both like long-term series and everything, but like technically in Cora's case, I've only played it once. But that's just more like, no, that's fair. But admittedly, it's again, it's one of the cases like I hadn't played RimWorld in like a good year, so it was kind of like okay in my head to play it. But I don't blame you for being like, relax. I don't blame you for being a little bit like bored of it. It is not exactly the most stimulating of games. But also the way I play it ends up being like way more boring. But that's kind of just, I don't know, I kind of just played it to 1 because I wanted to play it, and 2 to buy time. Because I did figure out like, okay, no, I actually did like the approach of like, Emery, do your laundry. I did like the approach of like having, Emery, get breakfast. Of having a long day where I played a game that required like a good chunk of time to do, and a shorter day where I played a game where I could just get in and play. I realized also my hand covers the chat. It goes out of my tracking range, but I can cover your words. Emryan, please get breakfast and please do laundry for me, okay? I'll be sad if you don't. I keep saying I need to go back to do Demon X Machina to at least do the DLC, but like, I think that boat is long sailed at this point, sadly. I mean, I can always just do it again anyway, but I don't know. I don't think I will. I kind of already got my meme stream of like climbing the fucking tower very slowly. There isn't really many other things I could think of. I played Battle Brothers before. I don't think I will because I think it's even more reductive versus RimWorld. At least RimWorld, you have like the individual pawns and everything like freaking the fuck out whenever that happens. Whereas Battle Brothers, you're spending most of it, from what I remember at least, running around in game before getting to combat, and combat's turn-based, and like, sure, you might be fighting a horde of undead and the like or whatever, but it's not really the most stimulating in regards to like what's going on. Which isn't a bad thing, but again, that's one of those cases where like, I don't know, I don't like the balancing, and I don't like the approach to how the game goes. It feels like it's intentionally going to grind my balls. Half the strawberries went bad. Emery, can you throw out the strawberries that are all bad? Maybe be careful about the other strawberries because they're probably also going to go bad. I don't want you getting food poison or anything else. Yeah, like, I hate to tell you that volley tailing kind of like has that hard for the sake of hard scaling, which is you can't ever make a good decision or an actual like normal game decision without like being punished in some way to perform. Because I personally, well, I really fucking hate that a lot of games assume that, oh, if you're fully armored up, you're going to be exhausted all the time. The reality is you're going to take off the majority of the armor while you're walking around. But if you're going to get into combat or expect combat, you're going to be wearing most of it. And you don't, like, get extremely exhausted immediately. It just, like, the best way to put it is, if you're wearing armor, you have the same amount of stamina as you would normally. It's the recovery period, which is the hard part. Because you have your chest is being restricted normally, so you can't get like full deep breaths, in the chest. Your head is effectively shoved in a box with very limited holes to breathe in, and your limbs end up, well, assuming you're already acclimated to wearing armor and not your first time wearing it, your limbs end up just generally a little bit more tired and fatigued by just wearing it, but you can still get through and do stuff. The main thing is, if you're wearing armor, you want me to play Fear and Hunger? You want me to play Funger? I can't play that on stream. I know it's like, oh, I know that's like, it's got like a stream safe mode, but I'm not chancing playing that on stream. Like, I'm sorry, like, even censoring it puts me at risk on like YouTube and stuff. I can't chance it. I say that, but I'm also considering playing fucking Cyberpunk. Which is like active titty site. But knowing my dumbass, I'll probably never fucking see it. But yeah, like a lot of games, like assuming that, oh, if you wear armor, you're slower, you're bulkier. Well, you are heavier, but that's not really that. But that's, who gives a fuck if you're heavier? Everyone's fucking heavier if you wear gear. But wearing armor and everything is like not that bad. Like, you are as agile as you would be. You just can't like super reach up. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not even really talking about cavalry style, because cavalry style has like the upper body is covered, but your legs are kind of just like uncovered because the horse is meant to eat the hits. Infantry normally wouldn't even be fully armored up. At most, they might have a gambeson and maybe some arm and head protection. But if you're talking about like a full plate armor person, you have full fucking like you have restricted vision, which is something that games don't do. You have inability to really get your stamina back up proper, because again, you can't really breathe. But even then, in between moments of like action and everything, you can like just lift the visor up, breathe, and then put it down again. The issue is just more like the chest, because you can't like, again, get the full breaths. So you end up having to like figure out like weird workarounds of like shorter, more effective breathing. But like, I don't like the way games tend to do it. It kind of like gets on my nerves, because it's nothing like that, and it's really easy to actually like adjust how it would be done. If your game is first person, restrict the view. Like, people hate that, but also like if you're wearing a heavy duty armor on your head, yeah, you should have your view restricted in first person. But if it's a third person game, then don't do it. If you're doing third person and you still want to apply like some penalties, just make the stamina regen harder. That's it. Because then it becomes the actual stamina management. Oh, you found frozen strawberries. That's good. Yeah, Kingdom Come, another game called War of the Roses I played, had vision restrictions. Like, it made it harder to see if you wore those helmets, which is like completely fair. Hell, there's another way to interpret it whenever you're doing third person, and it's, you can like be aware of the surroundings and like know what was there, but enemies can kind of just fade in from the corner of your view. So like they could start faded out as fuck and be kind of mostly just like a shadow. So you're like, is that person coming towards me or going elsewhere? And they could come in more into the vision as they walk into your vision, and then you'll actually like, go, oh fuck, they're an enemy. But because you're wearing heavy armor, you can kind of actually accept that if they do come up behind you, you can take a hit. Ideally you don't, because your back is still like one of the weakest points of the entire human body, but you can still take a hit because you're effectively wearing a shell. So a lot of games could still end up doing like actual restrictive vision in third person. And yeah, no, like armored infantryman is like brigandine, chapel helmet, and just hand protection at most. Like you're wearing like the most lightest of gear that's available. Hell, I wouldn't even say chapel helmet, I say a kettle helm, because that's a much easier to make shape than chapel helm. Sorry, I was trying to remember what the fuck I was saying. Because I'm more often than not, you just get a fucking kettle and just stretch it out, and there you go. There's your fucking helmet. And typically, like people need kettles, so they just there you go. You already have like a pre-made stuff for it, so problem solved. But yeah, like I feel like a lot of games should, if they want to always have that argument of like realism, then yes, you should restrict the vision. You should make it so that stamina is harder to get back. But you should also, this is a big fucking thing that they all fucking hate doing, make you as fast as everyone else. Because if you're full sprinting in full armor, you're not using up your stamina any faster than anyone else. The main issue is you fucking find it harder to recover it. Your actual stamina recovery should be the thing that is always hindered. Unless you're playing a fantasy game, then that's different. But that also, fantasy games just kind of immediately start throwing things out of the way. That too, Emrian, you would die of typhoid 3 weeks into the battle. That is very accurate. Well, maybe not typhoid, more like diarrhea, but still. The end point being is that you wouldn't die in combat. You might die from like a bad injury or something like that, but realistically, you would die of fucking diarrhea. But like, again, most games won't make you fucking do that. Thankfully, I guess. Because I've had to fucking deal with like being sick all the time when I'm playing fucking like, I don't know, Kingdom Come would be really fucking stupid and annoying. Because then in my head I'm like, God damn it, why did I not just take better care of my health? And it ends up becoming a little bit too real. I don't super enjoy that. But no, it's kind of one of the main things that I hope, like, at least with Blight Survival, that they don't be stupid and just make you slower because you're wearing full plate as a defensive measure. Just don't. Like, really, the main gimmick is just you don't recover your stamina proper. And I know it's just easy to make you slower if you wear full plate, but then you don't really, like, adjust the issue. That too. That's actually very aggro. Being like a drunkard and then getting stabbed is very much like, you don't die in combat unless it's like you get fucking smacked over the head with a mace, and like a proper smack, not like a glancing smack, which would probably still rock your noggin anyway and give you internal bleeding. But you wouldn't die in the combat normally unless you were like a very common farmer who was drafted and forced me to go into combat and the like. Then that's different. But normally it's like you generally die from like other things outside of it if you're wearing full plate. Yeah, Blunt Force Trauma. I mean, that's one of the reasons why, like, if you have looked into HEMA or even historical manuals in general, you find out that one of the best ways to deal with someone who's heavily armored from head to toe is quite literally grappling them and throwing them onto the ground and using the weight, assuming you're also wearing heavily armored stuff, of your armor to beat them into submission or worse. Like using gravity and or just, if you're strong enough to fucking pick them up or trip them, that'll probably do more than enough. Because getting up, it's doable, but if you have the guy on top of you trying to like also pin you down, that's fucking hard. And there's a very high chance you're dead anyway, because they'll probably just end up like pulling out the dagger and then sinking it into your neck or something like that. You know, there's a lot of like little like gaps in the armor and everything, and the more armor you end up losing like a radius of movement, but you still have like a good chunk anyway. You just couldn't have your hands way up here like I am. Well, actually that's kind of like semi-reasonable for what it was. I thought my hands would go higher. They didn't. No, it's awkward. Guess I'm a little awkward then because of the tracking. But just imagine my arm was way more up. But yeah, that's one of my biggest gripes with all games. They just slow you down, and it's like, it's stupid. I should be moving the same speed as everyone else. I'm not suddenly slower. I'm just using up like my recovery time. Like I'll need more breaks. That's not very nice. That's not very nice. I know how to operate this suit. It's just I have to live with the tracking. It's not always perfect, you know? Why the fuck is that endearing? You called me an alien. That's not nice. I'm gonna cry now. You won't see it, but I'm going to. But no, I understand that. It's just like, oh, yeah, he's very jank. Fuck you. I mean, oh, what fucking show did it? They're eating in dungeon, food in dungeon. Whatever. I had an episode where quite literally Svarmer were like piloted by like, effectively shellfish. Well, I don't think it was shellfish, but I think it was like some sort of like fishy like creature that they cooked in a scalp way. So you're not wrong. Delicious in Dungeon, that's the one I'm thinking of. That is exactly the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, crustacean, that's the word. I couldn't remember what it was. I wanted to call it shellfish, but I'm like, I don't think it is shellfish. Although I think shellfish are a type of crustacean, but that's not my point. Also, Enshrouded is one game that is being put out for 1.0. I think it also has a DLC, which it shouldn't. Yeah, that makes sense. They're like a type of reptile. I mean, but it makes complete sense. Just evolution. Just a lot of people end up being like avians are like separate from actual reptiles due to the features that they both share are both very different. So it's easier just to keep them away, but they are technically reptiles. We all know this. I mean, look at the chicken. If that ain't a fucking reptile, I don't know what is. Oh my god. Point, you fuck. My thumb? My thumb? My finger was broken. Yeah, that hand bent in a way that I was uncomfortable with. That kind of happens whenever I'm pointing it directly at the camera because I'm pointing at the camera right now. But I have to to point at you, I have to point over here, which causes my hand to bend. Which causes it to bend like that. And then especially whenever I hit the angle, it just fucks up the tracking. Something goes to my left hand. Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't be doing that. But it will happen randomly whenever I'm due to attempt to point at the camera. Or at least point at the stream. I should make that more clear. Yeah, birds are like a tomato. I don't know if that's quotable, but that's definitely a thing. but it's definitely like the tomato of the bird world or reptile world. Other games. Sorry, I'm still like trying to figure out like other things I could actually play and do. Because admittedly, Cyberpunk and the Skyrim test will probably end up being like... Well, Cyberpunk might be a long one, but also it depends on whenever I get bored. Because that actually does matter to me. Whereas with Skyrim, might actually be a lot a shorter of a stream, but it might end up being long. Wait, the best way to put it is the Skyrim test stream probably end up being like long at the start, but really short at the end. Because with getting stats on kills, you'll hit a snowball point where you'll just keep gaining like a ton of like power. Apparently, yes, crocodile does taste like chicken. Then again, what doesn't taste like chicken? That is something that a lot of people keep saying, like, oh, it tastes like chicken, but it's like, is your reference for everything chicken? I mean, I understand that it's a very common type of animal and common type of meat to eat. But I've heard people say, like, apparently it tastes like chicken. Well, I mean, if you've ate crocodile, then you know the difference, but like, people who haven't tasted crocodile before say like, yeah, chicken. I think it's because is it a white meat? Or is it a red meat? I don't remember. I think because it's a white meat, it's comparable to chicken. But I could be wrong. I would be surprised if I was wrong. I kind of hope I'm wrong. Yeah, red meat is like beef stuff. Well, I think beef also counts pork. I think. Is horse a red meat? Is dog a red meat? Pork is white meat. Huh, fair enough. I'm wondering what makes white and what makes red. Well, I mean, the colors, but that's not the point. Because to me, pork is more red than white, but even though it's also pink. Whereas chicken, like whenever it gets cooked, it's fucking white. Yeah, like how do we even classify this type of stuff? Like, is it because of the color? Is it because of the way it's cooked? Is it because of the type of animal? Is it like fundamentally when it's pinky? But beef is also pinky whenever it's, well, no, beef whenever it's uncooked is really fucking red. Like, it is hilariously red. Whereas chicken is like a pink. Whenever it gets cooked, it ends up white. But pork, whenever it gets cooked, ends up pink. It stays pink. No, pork is white. Oh, I mean, yeah, pork is a white meat, but it's pink or reddish. Because, I mean, every time I've seen bacon, it doesn't go white. It goes fucking very painted red. You know, it's got like a little bit of taint. Taint? You know what? I also don't understand. We're gonna move on from this fucking topic because I'm also kind of being made hungry by it. Pork chop. No. We're still going to get meat discrimination. The vegans want us to have meat discrimination because, you know, it's morally wrong to eat meat. Pork chop. Okay, I hate to tell you, I've never had a pork chop. I've had bacon. I've had pork pudding, which is an Irish delicacy. Well, it's, I say Irish, but like, you know. I've had chicken, beef. I've had lamb. I've also had chicken liver. Once it's cooked well, its ass and dries out fast. I really thought, like, I misread that sentence initially, so I had to like double check. I thought it was, unless it's cooked well, it's ass and dries out fast. And like, my only thought was, how do you know what ass tastes like? But then I realized, oh, it's ass unless it's cooked well. That makes way more sense. Oh, shit. Tell me more about pork ass. My tracking does not reflect what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to do like the both hands underneath, chin on top, but like it's from interpreting the hand up like this here and making me spaz the fuck out. What is that emote? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, sorry. I don't actually see those types of messages super often because I'm using OBS's inbuilt chat thing. So if I see something that's been blocked by Autobot, sorry. But also that ended up way more funnier. Just way more contextually funnier than at any rate being. I guess I could probably pop like Twitch chat itself. No, I don't think I will. Because that's another fucking thing I have to keep track of whenever they're not. But let's move away from food. I'm being made hungry and I literally just had breakfast. What else would you, the chat and our viewers, sorry, what my murder of crows, would want to see me do or play? No, I'm never doing art streams. I'm just putting a hard stop to that. I mean, Cora's somewhere in the background, so he's probably going to suggest a bunch of stuff, and I encourage him to. The issue is, I don't know if I have that. I'd have a lot much money if it's a bunch of new games that I don't have. Pork butt marinate over 24 hours. Slow cook it in the oven, just steaming it in its own juices. Then we put moho on it, and after I'm 3 plates in, I entire a food coma. Emrian, you had another slip up. It's not as funny as Chicken Acquired, but know that I did consider taking a screenshot of it. Understand that, okay? Why did my other hand do that? Are you okay down there? Yes, you're very unsafe here. Very unsafe. I think that realistically, if my chat or if anyone ever makes like a little mess up like that, where it's Technically, the chicken and blue cheese kind of just makes sense, but I took it because it's specifically chicken acquired, chicken and blue cheese, and that's funny. But I should probably remove the chicken and blue cheese, because out of context, it doesn't make sense. Well, I think anyone in the chat, if they have a little innocent hiccup like that, or they end up something like that, miswriting it or whatever, I'm going to screenshot it and I'm going to add it to stream. This is a threat. This is not something where, oh, I'm going to now intentionally fuck up my sentences, because it has to be kind of when you do it by accident. If you intentionally do it, fuck you. Yes, I'm a blackmailer. I will blackmail chat. I will. Yeah, what is moho? I actually don't know what that is. Like, you said it and I kind of just went, yeah, it's probably a sauce or something like that. But I have no idea what it actually is. I'm for it's a fucking type of alcohol. I mean, I was surprised, to be honest. I think... Wait, what? Is today a long day or a short day? It's a short day. Okay. Sorry, I just have to make sure I was actually like having a short day. I could probably do Enshrouded again. Actually attempt to like play the fucking game, but if I remember right, the start is so fucking boring. It's really hard to get into like the actual like interesting parts. And it would take me like, that would be a long day game because of the way it's balanced. I don't think we're getting an answer, no. Either we are, and it's the longest, most in-depth answer possible. I'm going to sneeze. Okay, I muted myself in time. Yeah, I don't think we're getting an answer to this. Oh, nope. We did get an answer. Okay, so it's something that I've only seen from Puerto Rico. It's a topping consisting of onions pickled in vinegar with a little bit of seasoning. What else goes into it can vary wildly depending on what family you talk to. Hey, y'all just impatient. I am not impatient. You're slow. I wouldn't be able to eat it. Or have it. Onions ruin me. So that's a immediate rip. You're accurate. Chicken acquired. That certainly made you quiet. Fine. Wait. Sorry, I was trying to think of like what would a crow look like pouting in the corner. I don't know how to. I don't know how to best like interpret that. I mean, it's just a bird in a fucking corner. That's what it is. Jack coffee, return to sugar. What did you say this time? Oh, fuck you. Yeah, you genuinely need to let me know if you're doing that. I really will not see it. Man, I really don't know what else to play that I'd be... I guess I could do 7 Days to Die. But I really want to play the mod version of the thing I want to do. Probably avoid that. I could do Abiotic Factor. It's certainly an option. Depending on the... No, I couldn't do Monster Hunter. I hate to say that I probably will never be able to play any Monster Hunter on this channel for two reasons? Maybe three. Well, I'll just list out the reasons. In regards to Monster Hunter World, I could run it on my PC, but I don't know if I could run it with OBS and the model. And that's kind of like a constant issue that is just a main point of why I probably can't run Monster Hunter anymore. Because Wilds is... Wilds being what it is means that I really can't run it on my computer, like full stop. Like I just fundamentally can't. The second reason, at least for Monster Hunter World, probably the one game I could probably attempt to play, is that I had actually done quite literally everything in Monster Hunter World that I had set out to originally achieve. I collected all the unique pieces of gear, all the unique weapons that actually had a model change. I made the, at least in my case, the best gear for hunting borderline every single monster in the game. I completed every single hunt in Iceborne, the base game, and the post-Iceborne game. I was able to solo Fatalis. I've done most of the game solo. And I kind of achieved everything I've done in the game. And me playing it now really is just a, like, it's not even like a revisit or anything like, oh, I should go back and play it. It's like, no, like I genuinely did everything. I would not get any enjoyment at all, and it would reflect on stream. And I kind of want to avoid me having like a bad time on stream, because that can reflect on chat. And generally, like, especially if someone new comes in and they see me not having a fun time, and it could be a game that they absolutely adore, it would look bad. I kind of don't super want that, probably because, again, you know, I want to grow. So that's why I would never do Monster Hunter. I might do Monster Hunter likes, like God Eater and the like, because, you know, I haven't played the shit out of those. But God Eater 1, 2, and 3 also are like lower on the graphical side of it, so I think they might be a little bit more okay to play rather than Monster Hunter, but I'm not sure. I would also say no to War Thunder only because I do not like planes. I do not like boats. I do not like tanks. At least in the gameplay. While I might have fun with them at times, it's not my main method of like enjoyment. Yes, I've played mech games where sometimes they move as tanks. But main issue is that, I don't know, I don't like planes because it feels like I can't have a moment of like stopping and standing and going like, what the fuck am I doing? You always have to be on the move doing something. Boats, you can do that, but it ends up being like how to outrange and long range each other. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm really bad at judging distance. And tanks, well, I can do both of those. I'm also really fucking aggressive, where I will attempt to get up on people if I can, which ultimately ends up me being overextending and getting obliterated because I'm all the way up there. So I don't like enjoy it super much. I say that, but also like, I don't know, in those types of games, I generally will play more aggressive because like my life means nothing. Whereas if I'm playing Dark Souls or some other game where my life does mean something, I'm way more like passive and or defensive. And also, it's a competitive PvP game. I'd rather not chance it because I feel like with the streaming thing and everything and trying to be interesting and the like, it's a risk. If you say League of Legends, I can more than happily do it, but I don't have the proper setup to genuinely stream it. I would have to spend like a week trying to figure that out to make sure like OBS would pick it up. It would be consistent-ish quality on stream, and I would have to like downscale the game, which would probably end up making me not actually able to play it. Dinoblade. Wait, that's not coming out, is it? I thought it was like still like a month away. I like how you joked about that being a game I could play, but like I've already had that on my list for a while. No, it's not. It's a demo. 2 weeks. I am going to wait till the price comes out before I decide what I want to do. Because if it's a reasonable price and not 50, 60 bucks, I will probably get it. Because that definitely feels like a game I would play. Because it actually looks kind of good. Alternatively, there's another game that is it out? No, it's out in 3 days. It's Echoes of Aincrad, but I don't know how the performance will be. We'll have to see. It's active JRPG. I could do Metal Hellsinger, yeah. Though again, that also costs money, and like I really have to like. Since I have a goal that I'm saving up for, I really had to be really picky about what I'm buying and what I'm not buying. Because like I need to get something that I know I would really fucking play the absolute shit out of. Even if it's on sale, like that's what I'm saying. Like, if games are on sale and they're only like $5, that's still like money that could be used towards that larger goal. Like $5 here could be $5 I need later. You might say, well, how do you make it's $5? You'll make that up, no problem. No, I fucking won't. No, it's at $7, basically 10. Yeah, this is one I would have to maybe like, because rhythm FPS games are not like something I really super enjoy. Sorry, let me rephrase. Rhythm games are not something I super enjoy. Yeah, that major S won't pay for itself. Like, I really had to be super picky about what games I get, and like, on average, the best way to put it is, if I don't play it on stream, I need at least a minimum of like 60 hours of the game, and like that's assuming from start to finish, not from like, oh, I take extra time to do something stupid. I'm talking like start to finish, I need about 60 hours, give or take. Or at least gameplay and or a game that kind of keeps me like going like, yeah, that was fun. Like, that was interesting. That was like something I would love to go back and do again. And if it is on stream, then genuinely it needs to like depend. If it's a game that's only fun in short bursts, then I obviously would be playing it like 2-hour bursts, and it would probably be like, what, 10 parts at most, maybe, before I end up being like, yeah, I'm done with it. If it's a longer game, or if it's a slower game where the progress is a lot slower, then genuinely I think we're a little bit better. A little, just a little bit, you know, not really sure. I have very like strict requirements for what games I won't play. Like, you'll never catch me playing like Stardew Valley. That game ain't peaceful. It's a very stressful fucking game because it's all about making money, and you have a fucking timer on it. Stupidest fucking thing I've ever understood. don't you put a timer on a farming game? Just have the days be the timer where you can just pass on whenever you run out of energy. I also surprisingly don't like the... I'm going to use this word specifically in a disrespectful manner, because I actually think that it is disrespectful when I actually talk about games like this. I actually do not enjoy friend slop games. I enjoy a good co-op game. Like, don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore whenever we get good co-op games. I fucking hate, well, sorry. No, I do hate friend slop games, where like the ultimate goal is you play with friends and nothing fucking else. Like there is no like a greater like achievement in the game. It's basically roguelite runs without the rogue like upgrades. To perfect example, Peak. There is no like, it's a run that you do and then you're done. Whether you die or you don't really get anything else out of it. And you might say, oh, but you get cosmetics. Cosmetics mean nothing. Cosmetics are literally just like the collectathon. And I'm sorry, I'm very anti-collectathon when it comes to a lot of games. I say that and I played fucking Cobblemon, but at least in Cobblemon it felt like, okay, if I'm completely stuck for getting stuff, I could still like just make a mod for Modship and just spawn in the fucking mods anyway, so it's really not that big a deal. Those types of games where like you're kind of just like can't quit out and save in the middle of a run, I don't like, because if I'm gonna play a roguelike game, I'm gonna play like an actual good roguelike game. Crab Champions. It sounds stupid, but Crab Champions is actually one of the best fucking roguelike games I've played in quite a long time. And I'll tell you fucking why. You can get the upgrades that effectively scale to effectively infinite. You aren't forced to end your run at the end. You can keep going forever. The enemies don't scale aggressively hard unless you've got like the difficulty modifiers all applied. You can actually like play the game at a casual level and enjoy it, and it's actually quite enjoyable and fun. You don't get any upgrades outside of the game, but you do get extra things like actual gameplay changers, like the weapons, the different abilities, and the different melee options. There's still cosmetic stuff where you can change the color of your crab and probably the shape of your crab later in the future. Obviously, you get different weapons and everything. I think I already said that. But you get different ways of playing the game based on the weapons and abilities and melee weapons you choose. And then going through the game, it's got a very, very cohesive like island methodology where you're on a single island. The island is finite and it's not like a weird attempt at open world, showing you Risk of Rain, where you finish that island and you move the fuck on after getting like your rewarding debuffs at the end of the island. It is genuinely a run-based game that is extremely fun, but you also have the ability to put it on pause and save it whenever you reach certain thresholds. Whereas many other roguelike games, you can't pause on that shit normally. I don't know, the idea of saving is something that's very foreign to them. And a lot of the actual like skilled gameplay and everything, you could get a shit build and just outskill the game and still get a good build that can work. But you can also get lucky where you get a build that doesn't require you to sweat like a demon. I've had many runs and many wins where I didn't sweat like a demon. Well, that was really kind of just the only way to play. Whereas the sweating like a demon ones always cause me to fucking die. That's because I'm skill issue. But friend slap games does not have that reflection of skill or knowledge or customizable depth when it comes to their friend slop runs. This is your Lethal Company. This is your Peak. This is your Gambling with Friends. This is your what else was it? There's one more game that was making the rounds. I don't remember what the other one was. Repo. That's one. They're all just friend slop roguelike games. You play once and you just leave. There you go. Enjoy being a productive person. May you have a lovely day, and please return the chairs. Please. Please. I'm begging. Please. Please. Sorry, my hands are really not responding to the actual like tracking or anything right now. Ah! My chair! He takes another one. No, we don't whip here. We're actually a very forward-facing society. We don't do violence unless absolutely necessary. And it wasn't necessary in that case. We just asked nicely. If they say no, then they say no. You know, consent is hot. That's really stupid. But back to my previous rant. Well, you have your options dealing. You can buy him dinner or you don't. It's up to you what you want to do. But back to my previous rant. I don't like a lot of friend slop games. I love good co-op games. Fucking hate friend slop games because there's no depth to it. There's no recurring satisfaction of like, yeah, we fucking did it. I feel empty inside. Like a fucking, sorry for the example, like a hooker. Whenever I play friend slop games, I feel like a goddamn hooker who isn't valuing themselves enough. You might say I have high standards. No, I've got perfectly normal standards. I do not like friend slop games. I will play them with friends, but at that point, it's like we could literally play any other fucking game that would be a little bit more depthful, and we'll probably have way more fun. Like, there's another one coming out called Big Walk, and it's literally just talking the game. I don't know how much more reductive you can get when it comes to just talking and walking. I know there's puzzles and you have to like communicate to each other and everything, but like there's no actual fucking gameplay. So I will never play any of those games unless it's specifically asked by someone and it's a game I have. Like, people genuinely will have to buy those types of games for me because I'm never spending my money on them. I bought Lethal Company. I bought Peak. No, I think I got that gifted actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got that gifted. I'm currently looking to see if I did, or if I'm like being a dumbass and contradictory to what my original statements are. It's probably not on this immediate list, is it? I'm going to load more. Doesn't look like I ever bought it. Okay, so I never specifically bought Peak, so I got it gifted. But that proves the point that I'm never spending money on friend slop games. I don't know, I just look for a little bit more to my games when it comes to like that type of like run-based type of dichotomy. Dichotomy's not the right word there, but it's the only one I can think of. Because I understand that the run-based game approach is like very interesting because it means you don't have to commit to like knowing the meta or whatever. But if anything, I feel like that pushes a lot of people to like chase the meta because they want to keep getting that like thrill of more and more and longer runs rather than just playing a game that just already has that long type of runtime. So, you know, you probably won't ever see me playing that on stream in general, unless I'm like specifically asked and I was gifted it, then I'll like I don't have a choice. Because if I were playing Palworld with a bunch of people, at least there's the idea of building a base, building better gear, searching for better gear, finding pals, making pals better, getting better pals, getting legendary pals. Like all that kind of has like a good like gameplay loop of like building up from nothing to something. Like, I'll be honest. If I want to play like a friend swap game, I'll just play League of Legends. That is the best run-based game that you'll fucking get, because at least then you'll have actually like annoyances and things you have to worry about, and not just, oh no, I don't know how to play the damn game. I hate friend slop, but trust me, I fucking love a good co-op game. If I were to get people together for Barony, that would be fucking fun. So, if you're listening, is it cooler? Let me know. I've got to play that at some point. Okay, I don't know if you're actually here. I'm mostly kind of just like talking to the void. I did play State of Decay at one point, but I don't know. It kind of didn't feel like I really made any like actual meaningful progress. I know that there was extra DLC things I could have done, but I don't know. It didn't feel super satisfying in the grand scheme. So, yeah, obviously I'm not streaming that. Oh, you want me to keep yapping? Well, how about hemming and hawing then? I can hem and haw much free. Fuck. I can hem and haw much easier than yap. Also, hi Corvo. I hope you're having a lovely Monday today, and hope your weekend was good. If you are still listening, do you have any plans for this week? If so, please let me know, because I think you're cool. Mind you, I feel like there's no like a lot of like potential good co-op games have kind of devolved from being co-op and ended up becoming friend swap negative, which is a bad thing, because like Peak I think could have been potentially a really interesting game while it was as deep as my ankles. Oh, you're having breakfast? Well, it's on the list for breakfast. Sorry, I always look down because I look down and look up at you through my eyes or through my glasses, but really I should be looking up at you. What's for breakfast? What are we having? Mind you, I'm not very good at Peak in the first place because I don't know how to climb, but that's not the point. I feel like it could have been actually like a very good game if it weren't reinforced to be sloppy. Bacon, eggs, ham with cherry grape tomatoes, and you're missing the coffee and toast. Ooh, that sounds very filling. Well, at the very least, you can have a nice glass of refreshing water. Now, I know water is like a curse word in some places, and to some of my friends it is a heretical word to say, but you know, it's still an option. It would keep you hydrated. Yeah, I figured as much. There are people who I can figure that if I suggest water, I get immediate yuck. Like me with carrots. Yeah, you better fucking have water. Keep you fucking nice and hydrated. No, I don't blame you. I like my leaf juice. Yeah, I don't like carrots. I know, heretical to say to a bunny, but I don't like carrots because every time I've had them in food... Why is my hand being laggy? Oh, it's probably because my other hand's in the view. What was I saying? Right. I don't like carrots, and it's for like genuinely one simple reason. I can tell when they're in food. They overpower everything I eat whenever they're in there. And they overpower everything I drink whenever they're in there. This is when I learned that carrots were in cranberry juice. I love cranberry. But a lot of the time they will end up putting carrot juice, or at least, yeah, just carrots. The same thing though. In cranberry juice because they want to dilute it. But the issue is it dilutes it in the wrong way. If you're going to dilute it, just use fucking water. Yeah, super, oh god. Super carrot gene. No, genuinely, if food has carrots in it, I just immediately go, there's carrots in this. And a lot of people don't believe me, but we once had a stew that did have carrots in it. Or well, not carrots, a singular piece of carrot in it from the start of the very making, because that same pot was being used for like storing like diced carrots in water and the like. And it had a single piece of carrot still in it. And I could taste that piece of carrot. And I specifically says, there's carrot in this. I went out to the fucking pot and I literally just searched around for like a bit and I found a tiny piece of carrot in it. I know when there's carrots in something. It's kind of like a bad thing because it means that there's a lot of food that I know immediately taste carrots in it. Because I don't know why, but carrots have this very sickeningly sweet taste that kind of overpowers a lot of like the more genuinely natural tastes of like sugar or something. Now, Corvo, with all due respect, and of everyone here I know, you're the bunny knight here. I know you like to say you're the bunny, but like to me, you're like a knight too. You might not agree to it, but you are. Yeah, it is very, very sweet, but like, you know, whenever you get like those super rich, super rich dark chocolate type of stuff, but they also try to offset the dark chocolate with just a ton of like extreme sugar. Yeah, that's what that ends up tasting like to me. It's like, it's a weird mix between like extremely dark chocolate being offset by extreme sweetness. It's not sour, but it's just that extreme sweetness is associated with, oh, there's a lot of dark chocolate in this. When the reality is, no, it's just fucking carrots. Yes. I have very few times ate that type of stuff. Part because every time I do, I feel like I always end up sick. And like, I'm a fiend for chocolate. Like a real bad fiend. It's a problem. But like, I know when there's carrots and stuff. And it's a thing that a lot of people don't believe me. But also, it's probably tied to like some weird factor that, I don't know, it's some sort of medical thing probably that I'm not unaware of. I don't know. But also, it's not really that big a deal. It's not causing me to be physically sick yet. But it is kind of like one of the things where it's like, thankfully, I can't smell carrots. I can only taste them. So that's one thing. I don't know what that is because of where I am in the world. Chocolate to me is very much like milk chocolate is normal chocolate. Unless you're talking about dark chocolate, which is just like raw chocolate beans, I think. Or at least the extract. Sure. Oh my god, my thumb. Well, at least it's working now. But yeah, okay, I was raw chocolate. Yeah, like that stuff, like I do like. I don't super like the potency of like effectively raw chocolate. Holy hell, it punches you in the nose. I like milk chocolate. I think it's because it's actually palatable. But I think it's because I don't like super strong tastes unless it's savory. I think I don't like extreme, like, well, I say that, but then also I love sourness. So sourness doesn't really count because I will straight up just eat a lemon if I can. I think I don't like super sweet stuff or super potent, you know, you can tell it's there type of stuff. I think that's like most people, I imagine. Well, I say that, but also I think I don't know. I don't know if people in general like super potent stuff that's just there in the food. No, that makes sense, yeah. Like, I don't like spice in actual like super spice way, but I do like a little hint of it. It's very nice. It ends up adding that extra like depth to the overall taste. I know it's not like, oh, you can't handle spice. No, I treat spice as like an actual like adjustment to the taste, not for the heat. If I'm eating food for the heat, I just eat a fucking hot cup of like a hot cup. Yeah, just eat a hot cup. God. But yeah, no, it makes sense that better and spicy type of stuff is like your go-to, and then being sick of like normal things that are sweeter than a strawberry or something, or carrot. But in my head, carrot's like extremely sweet. I prefer my hot cups made out of ceramic, please and thank you. Metal is hard to hold. At least ceramic keeps the heat inside the cup, or sorry, inside the ceramic, and then whenever you go to eat it, it's pretty good. Sorry, if you're seeing me like scratch up my face or something, it's because I got more fucking hair in my nose. I mean, that's where the hair should be, but it's one that's tickling me. My god, Nightball, relax. Chill out for a second. You don't have to be spamming commands like that. The fuck? Oh, what I should do is make it include the fucking Discord command. That's one thing I should make it do, so that people end up seeing it, end up using it, and then I'm going like, oh, that's what you actually want me to do. Good way to fuck with it. It's a good way to make people like do it or something. Oh my god, this hair. Yes, actually, Teeling, there are Discord redeems. Speaking of, there is a deal right now, which is Discord. Speaking of, a Discord redeem where for 10 points you can join the official Discord I set up. Only for the first 10 people though. Well, Teeling, I won't say you're stupid, I would say you're based. But also, it's only 10 points to join the actual Discord thing. But because Corvo, you had redeemed the join Discord link, please ensure your Twitch whispers are open so I can whisper you the... Well, no, you're my Discord, I can just send you it directly. I forgot we were like actual friends on the Discord. Oops. Hold on. Do let me know if there are any weirdness with the actual links and everything. I have had a little bit of a hiccup on regards to doing it. Not doing it. I forgot about the horse. But welcome number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're number 7. But I will say, I do respect at least saving for the point stuff. Again, I will defend my points. I will defend my purpose of making the actual join Discord redeem expensive. The reason why I want to make it specifically expensive is that I do want anyone who's watching the stream at the time to understand just who I would be to an extent, and also the type of community that I am kind of attempting to foster and the like. And also it kind of prevents bots from joining and spamming Discord and then joining Discord and then spamming everyone, because every single link is something that I have to make to send to someone, like in this case with Corvo. I will say that making it expensive also ensures that it's at least, I think, like 4 streams, it's either 3 or 4 streams total, depending on how long it is. I don't remember the total point thing is. Obviously, it becomes less if you sub and everything, but I mean, I'm not too really worried about that. Because I don't think anyone would be subbing. They'd be silly if they were. But I will say that saving your points to do the 4K one, respectable. And admittedly, a little odd, but hey, you know what? I ain't gonna judge you that much. But I do intend on having like proper like redeems later. It's just right now I genuinely just got like affiliate like last week or something like that. So I don't really know what redeems I should do, but I want like meaningful ones that aren't like, oh yeah, drink water and stretch. Like they're good for like streamer health and everything. I drink tea and I tend to always like, you probably don't see it, but I tend to always stretch. Like right now I'm stretching and everything, so I don't really need those because this is just something I do. Thank you very much for giving me congratulations on finally getting my ass up and being in a fucking affiliate. I put it all for so fucking long because I was scared for some fucking reason. An attendance redeem. It's an idea. Check in. I wonder if there's a way to make it so that we could count the amount of check-ins that one has done. Well, no, I was scared of like the legal system actually, and the financial system. There is a way. Okay, well, hold on. There's a different type of redeem that I want to do instead, or at least a different type of counting thing. So, if you were to do a lurk, an exclamation mark lurk, you will see that there is a message where you take a seat. But I have chosen to interpret it as if you literally take the seat. I want to know if there's a way to possibly make it so that every time someone does that, it calculates the total amount of seats they have taken. Because I would love to one day have like the end of like year seat calculator thing where however many times someone has done lurk, we can count out the amount of chairs and how much on average they owe to replacing all the chairs they've taken. No, they won't actually have to pay anything. It's just more like a joke. There is a command for that. Something to look into then. But welcome into the Discord. Welcome in. Be sure to pick up your appropriate roles. I do have to make sure to remove the unverified thing, because we don't. That's still something we need to actually like do. Or well, I say we. It's something we have to figure out. Huh. Yes, you are welcome to always hang out and join the I think it's gonna end up becoming a murder of crows. Because I was still trying to figure out like what to call the equivalent of the community and everything. And one person suggested crows. I have like no crow theming in me at all, but I kind of joked about it, and I think it's kind of become the thing now. So I think like the community members are going to be called the crows. So that's a thing. Yup, a murder of crows. So at some point I have to like, I guess for the first 10, maybe try and draw everyone as like a crow, but like their own type of crow, if that makes sense. Really, it's just like a crow, but like with a hat, a crow, but with a different color scheme, a crow with, I guess, ears, bunny ears specifically, not just ears in general. A crow with human ears. Sorry, the image of that, it's like the cat with human ears. But it might end up becoming like, that's just the community at this point. We'll see. I haven't really figured out a proper like idea what I would want to do. I don't want to do dragons because it opens up a whole can of worms I'm not really willing to face. So I think crows might end up being like the thing. I guess I have to add in like crow theming it to me at some point. Yeah, well, it's not about the lizards. It's the fact that most of the peeling the curtains back a little bit. Oh god, why do my hands spasm like that? Peeling the curtains back a little bit. I have a lot of OCs and original characters I've created that are all dragons. And I don't want to associate chat with them because it feels weird. And also because a lot of people end up making like lay the dragon type of jokes, and I don't want that. So I think crow might end up becoming like the thing. Shinies in front. Honestly, yeah, that's accurate actually. And then anytime someone like comes into the chat or something, if they aren't like a perfect crow, they end up becoming like a seagull or something else. So it's like crow, 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 random seagull, crow, 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 random duck, goose, crow, 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 crow. So like it does open up a kind of a very funny concept of like, yes, a lot of crows, and then a random chicken. Look at all those chickens. Corver, are you having fun trying to re-add and give yourself the rules right? Because are you okay? I see your name changing colors. I only ask because I don't want you to not have the appropriate rule. Yeah, it's also very minor. Honestly, yeah, fair. Look, I'll say this much. If you want, I can just give you the respective roles that you want. So at least you have the ones you want. Because again, it's a small enough community right now. I'm not really getting like a ton of people adding in anyway, so it's reasonable for me to like just do this type of thing for myself. Oh damn, you got to platinum on Marvel. I need to stop looking at your profile. I'm sorry. I need to stop doing that. Okay, so the roles that look like you wanted is watchers, announcements, and then this one. There you go. Assuming that worked. Assuming Carlbot doesn't go yoink at any point in time, should be good. Do not write in the garden. Do not write in the garden. This is a very serious warning. This is not a joke. It's very serious. It's the honeypot channel for whenever someone gets hacked and turn into a bot account. They'll post in everywhere. They'll post in there and get immediately zapped. Also, beware the man eating plants. Interpret that the way as you wish. That's funny. I'm, at least in regards to Marvel Rivals, I'm also Tactician Deadpool. Albeit, I only played him till I was level 20. Because I wanted to give a thing to a friend, because I also spent the money in Rivals. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just get to 20 and do it that way. So that was a time. A very rough time. But yes, do not write in the Deadpool kill. You know what the worst part is like I feel like Deadpool is one of the Tactician Deadpool, based on what I've played of the two other types, is the best version because he does okay damage, especially if you're like landing your shots. And are able to like abuse your double jump in like a sense of like jumping on people's heads. He has effectively one on-demand AoE heal, one on-demand damage plus healing, so if someone's in the brawl, you can throw it on top of whoever's in the brawl and they'll be sustained by it. Obviously, you can heal from range. And if you're in the brawl yourself, you can heal every time you hit someone. And you also got the dash heal too if you hit someone as well. And then the upgraded versions of his ults, which I still don't fully understand what they actually do. But that's on me. Because also whenever I use his ult, I tend to just kind of like shoot it and just let it be. So, you know, a lot of time it's like, yes, Deadpool. I'm a okay Deadpool healer. I'm not very accurate, but I tend to just kind of like fire into the mass. So if people don't end up like bulking up and, or not bulking up, deathballing basically, I'm fucking useless. Because I feel like I can fight a death ball way easier than I can fight people who are breaking away from the main group to attack me specifically or someone else. Though I've definitely brawled a lot of Spider-Man who have done like their web, uppercut, punch, attempt at me because I get like the initial web, so I switch to the swords and then I just swing. So because I have sustain, I can fight him back to an extent, and that's assuming I don't have the other abilities on hand at the time either. But that's also me saying like, you know, that's me like playing at level 20 in public matches, not like ranked or anything. I don't know what ranked is like, and I don't know if I ever actually will touch it because I'm not very accurate. I like to joke I am, but I'm really bad at the game, or at least I'm really bad at aiming. Whether or not I'm bad at the game is a different thing, because I understand that a lot of time, like when you get a good advantage and stuff, you push the enemy team into spawn to keep them locked there, and you just keep them in there so that they don't get out. Because a lot of the points is like, okay, you capture the main point and then you push the enemy team back. But I don't know, it feels like also it's really risky to do that, because all it takes is one good ult to kind of like wipe people out. And I know, again, public people don't really do good ults or whatever. It's very rare you ever see someone like actually get a good ult off who isn't like, I don't know, Scarlet Witch or Hela, whatever her name is. And yeah, rank is a bit of spare that I don't think I'm going to genuinely do. But I ended up playing specific rivals to get to level 20, so I grinded the fuck out of the game. Was it fun? Honestly, yeah, a little bit. Would I do it again? Yeah, I would play a few matches here and there. It's just fun if I just play it the way it is, casual. But I'm not like playing to win or anything. I'm just kind of playing to play. Hi TK, I hope you're having a lovely day today. Hi Fitlin, I hope you're also having a lovely day today. Where are y'all coming from? I guess you're all like having a break or something. But welcome in, welcome in. Tell me about your days, what are your plans, what are your choices in this week? I was gonna say choices in life, but that doesn't make sense. Oh, you need to get ready. Well, Corvo, you know what they say. May you have a lovely day whenever you do start it. Oh, you're drawing today. Is it drawing off stream or is it drawing on stream? Sorry, ignore my hand scratching my face. I should probably stop doing this, but well, I am proud of you, Fitlin, for crawling out of bed today. I would like to know. Oh. So, for those of you who are here and watching the chat right now, I do encourage you to go give Corvo a little follow. Corvo's actually someone who I won't say like I'm like good friends with, but I do enjoy their company, I do enjoy their streams, and one day I would like to be better friends with. I like to, I would want y'all to follow them, to help them to go ahead and keep drawing. I do not want you to stop drawing. I know you can keep doing it, because you're getting better every day you do. And also, I want everyone else to follow them to encourage them to do more. Also, they're bonding if that needs any other extra reasoning on why I would do it. Fuck, I just closed OBS. Okay, no, I didn't. Oh. I thought I just closed OBS. Fuck, that would have been embarrassing. I will definitely be lurking in Corvo's stream on myself later. Yeah, I'm thankful it's still here. I kind of low-key started panicking. I minimized it instead, I think. Oof. Yeah, I didn't fucking just suddenly Thanos snap myself, which admittedly I could totally do right now. It is technically like a minimum I've streamed for 2 hours because it is a short day, so at the least I've achieved what I needed to do at minimum. Oh yeah, you're gonna counter alert me. Well, that's fine. I want to probably keep streaming for like an hour or 5 minutes. I'm finding my throat is starting to hit that point of like scrunchiness. So I might give it like maybe 5 more minutes, and then I'll probably read out to someone else. Probably end up being Cell intro, depending. General warning, not warning. General heads up, if you are here and you're not in the Discord, currently there is a redeem that is discounted heavily, so it only costs you 10 points to redeem it versus the 4K amount. You'll be able to get a direct Discord link to the official For the Travelers server that I have made for the Travelers. Though at this point it might end up being For the Murder, but I don't know if I should call it For the Murder. Because if I call it For the Murder, I think Discord might end up zapping it out of existence. So we'll have to see. Maybe. And I might end up adding a little extra fun thing for the first 10. Who knows? I don't, that's for sure. But at the very least, it has been a nice update, to be honest. Kind of surprised about that. Sorry, I'm currently like stretching the wrist again. I still have to like draw at some point. But that's also like mostly everything I've had to say anyway. Probably doing Cyberpunk 2077, doing another Skyrim test stream where I test like a specific subset of mods, also figuring out rules, and then trying to figure out something else to do at the same time. Again, splitting up what I've done so far and the like to be something different and new. And also finding games that may work with my model, so that whenever I'm doing it, it doesn't like crash or end up really, really annoying to watch. Because every game's going to look like shit whenever I'm playing it anyway, so it's really not that big a deal. I'm actually trying to find what game was it that I was playing way back when. What was it? I could do Generation Zero? Because it is fighting machines. So that's certainly a choice. I could probably even attempt to do Fate Samurai Remnant again, but that game was annoyingly grindy. Let's see. Generation Zero, Fate Samurai Remnant. It'd be something different. Sort of. Strangers of Paradise would actually be something very interesting because it's Souls-like. And I did play that quite some time ago. I could do any of the VR games, but that's... I would need to figure out how to get that to capture proper, because I don't know how to do that. And also I'd have to set up my headset, everything again, and those would be genuinely short stream, because I'd be physically sick afterwards. I am not doing Stardew Valley. That is not a happy-go-lucky farming game. It's very stressful. I could... no. I don't think I would do Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, because I know that they're collecting my data. I could do Dying Light. Yeah, not too sure. I'm very tempted to do Divine Releases and do, but I shouldn't. Really is surprisingly not. There are like there's a lot of games I do have, but the main issue is like, would I enjoy playing them alone? Because a lot of the stuff I have are alone playing games. Like I play them alone, which is kind of saddening when I think about it, but it's very correct on that because a lot of the other games I also do have were games I originally bought that were co-op for the intent to be co-op, like Wildermyth. I only need one right now, but it's because I'm currently looking through the list. Or War Z, depending on your definition, was also a co-op game I specifically got for solo play. Not solo play, co-op play. Among Us is quite literally only solo play, but I never also intended playing that because when it comes to those types of things, I just tell the truth. I'm really bad at that. Remnant 1 and 2 are both co-op games. Not really good alone. You can play them alone, but they don't really end up being as good. Endless Legend 2, or well, 1 and 2, I play them alone. I'm pretty sure they are only alone anyway. Helldivers, you can only play with people. You can't play it alone. It's really boring alone. I could maybe do Darkest Dungeon, but the game also has the issue of like being really rough if I don't rebalance it to actually like allow me to make mistakes. There's other games too that I've gotten through, like Isles of Adelar. Could also maybe do a revisit of Payday 2, but I lost all my progress, so that's maybe a little bit more rough. I could do Terraria again. No. I could maybe do Fallout 4, but the main issue is that it ends up kind of just playing like the way I play Skyrim, but I can build the base. So probably not. I probably wouldn't do Kingdom Come Deliverance, even though like for all intents and purposes I have no reason not to. It's just I didn't actually enjoy playing it. I enjoyed people like watching people play it. I could maybe do Metal Gear Solid 5 again, The Phantom Pain. I actually did enjoy playing that like alone, and it was actually quite enjoyable. I can also do all the fucking Dark Souls series because I already played 3 again there a while ago. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like think about this. I've got a lot of games I could play, but like, would I enjoy them now? Is the main issue. Because like I played them way back when, like years ago. Genuinely years ago. Like I have if I go on more older games, I have the last time I played like The Witcher 3 was 2017. So it has been a hot minute since I last played those games. Especially I keep playing the same fucking like 7 games over and over. Not the worst, but it's kind of embarrassing. I could become a Dragon Ball streamer because Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 is coming out, and that's something I'm actually kind of interested in. We will have to see. Obviously, there's a ton of new games too, but they cost money, and I have to avoid that for now at least. I have Portal 2. Since when? Well, at the very least, I'm going to call it there. Basically, tomorrow will probably be more Tainted Grail. I'm going to be trying to get either get myself ported into Cyberpunk and Skyrim, and if not, I'm going to be finding like the equivalent of like gear that looks closest to me and or gives my aesthetic. Sorry, I'm stretching. But that might take a little bit before I can get that stuff properly set up. But for now, at the very least, thank you as always for being here and giving a lurk, hanging out and just talking with me. We are going to be raiding into... Oh god, I keep forgetting how to spell their name. We're going to be raiding into Celiandrel. Celiandrel? I don't know how to properly spell the name or say it. There we go. They are currently playing Wooling Waves, a gacha. But I think it's fine. It's actually one of the more least offensive in regards to like the gacha stuff. So I'm not really too worried about it. But if you did like what I did today, or I'm doing, feel free to hit the follow button on Twitch, and on YouTube at least, hit the subscribe button. And, you know, turn it around too. If you have a Twitch account on YouTube, or YouTube account on Twitch, hit the buttons respectively. Helps out a lot. But until then, I will catch you all later. I don't have a raid mess. Well, no, I don't have a raid message. We'll see about that eventually.